Saugeen had an opening statement at the beginning of the hearing. This is the first of two presentations you will make. And I've got to ask the bottom line question. If the hearing ended today, would Saugeen support the DGR as knowing what you know?
That's a good question. That's a good question, and I'm probably going to dance around a little bit. I'm a little bit reluctant. The only reason I'm reluctant to answer that right now is because we do have a process that we have to develop. One of the things that we've been fighting so hard for over the last several years with OPG and the Crown to understand is that first and foremost, Saugeen has a voice and is the voice of this territory, and that must be respected. As I've said many times before, in these hearings and in other hearings and other opportunities that presented themselves, that for the most part we've largely been excluded on these types of decisions and left on the outside looking in their own territory, and gone are the days of unilateral decisions. And we've made it very clear and have acknowledged that we have a waste management problem. It's not of our own design, but we sure want to be part of making those decisions and shaping the future on these decisions, and hopefully tackle this issue. But one of the biggest challenges was getting that voice recognized. And I've said this before, it's different when you're talking to somebody as opposed to talking with somebody. And that's what we fought for, was to get that commitment that at the end of the day, these types of projects could not be developed without our community support. We're grateful that OPG acknowledged that and has finally committed to doing that and agreed to do that. But that means a lot of work ahead in terms of both communities to look at not only this project but look at the broader issues of the waste management problem we have. We've got low-level waste, we've got intermediate-level waste, we've got spent fuel, and there has to be a reconciliation of all of that based on the long fears our communities have with those.
I sensed from the presentation that you felt OPG should have looked at alternative methods which included high-level waste and has not done so in this hearing?
Well, we think they haven't done a very good job at assessing against other alternatives. This seems to be the only game in town, and that's a bit concerning for a project of this magnitude. And one thing that concerns us so far in this hearing is the moving landscape. You have a very specific project description under which all the parties prepare for, comment on, do their work, do their analysis, and the landscape changes during the course of the hearings. We've learned some very important things.
You're referring to Pickering?
Absolutely, and of course that's a significant piece, and to my recollection and to our team's recollection, that issue has never been raised or discussed in the context of our discussions over the years with OPG or the Crown, and obviously that raises great concerns. And as I said, this is a forever type project, and it concerns me when I see the landscape moving like that in these hearings. So that's something certainly we will be discussing with OPG before we go into any process with our community, because it's one of those things that can really undermine confidence and only add to a level of distrust.